Hey, everyone. Welcome to the WWE NXT post show. It's your girl, Denise Salcedo, joined by Chinedu. It is Tuesday, October 22nd, and we had the go home show for NXT Halloween Havoc here today. Before we dive right in, Chinedu, how are you today, man?
I am doing phenomenal. I was literally just on the page right now, catch up on the great interviews you have on there. By the way, guys, if you haven't seen the latest interviews from Denise Salcedo, go check them out. I believe you have an interview with Samantha Irving, don't you?
No, so that interview that I did with Samantha was from back in the Royal Rumble, but I just went and I did like a little like clip and stuff, just something that
Mhm.
pertained to like all of the news and whatnot. I kind of felt like it was appropriate to post it during this time. And it was basically just her talking about how like she didn't know that she was going to be calling the entire Royal Rumble. And then she's talking about how much she, loves doing this like ring announcing stuff. So that was just a clip that I posted, but I do have a Samantha Irving interview again from earlier this year, which is so crazy to think about. Like, Chinedu, I know people are gonna think I'm crazy, but I was already working on my 2025 calendar today, and I started to kind of like reminisce a lot of the stuff that's happened this year. And it's so crazy to think about everything in my mind that I thought happened last year or 2 years ago was literally this year.
I wholeheartedly agree. So much has happened in this year. And just in regards of it being a little clip, y'all, Denise has met Samantha Irving, y'all. Okay. All the thirsty guys in here, all the thirsty dudes in here, be thirsting after these ladies. She has met her. Okay. Go watch that interview just to see the fact that they're in the same room, that they're talking to each other. Okay. She says Denise's name and everything. All right. You'll check it out and hit that like button, man.
Yes,
Definitely.
Samantha, she really is sweet a lot. I mean, obviously people didn't see the off-air conversation that we had, but she is very humble. And when you're telling someone like a compliment, I really like I was telling her like my thoughts on how amazing I thought she was. And the whole time, like she was just like she had this face that like really made me feel like what I was telling her meant something to her. And I thought, like, damn, that's really cool. Cause she could have easily just like dismissed me. She could have been like, yeah, blah, 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 whatever, right? But she did not do that whatsoever. And so she was just a nice person overall. So, I mean, that's obviously been a huge topic. You guys can check out my reaction video that I did to the Samantha Irving news that is up here on the channel. And then check out the interview with Zaya Zhao too. The interview with Zaya Zhao, the former Zaya Lee, is the one that I'm really proud of. It's my 99th interview this year. And Chinedu, she was so, I can't even explain it, so raw, so real, so genuine. And listening to her talk about her story, it made me like feel inspired. And I was reading a bunch of people's comments. I read like everybody's comments actually on that interview. And a lot of people were just like, damn, like that would really hit. Like I had a couple of people saying that they got really emotional during that interview. And I thought, damn, like it's kind of cool that that happened because the point of getting these interviews is to get these stories out there, to tell somebody's stories. And so I thought that the Zaya Zhao interview was really great. I was very proud of that one in particular. But anyways, we got to get into NXT. I spent a whole lot of time shilling my own content, but we do got NXT to talk about. Chinedu, I'm very much looking forward to Halloween Havoc. We got a couple of
Oh,
matches that
yes.
I'm definitely stoked for. But before we get into all of that, what was your like overall thoughts on today's episode of NXT?
Well, firstly, but one last little shilling on the content though. I'm looking forward to the Xylee interview. I have a long drive into the city tomorrow night, so I'm looking forward to playing in the background. You can play these interviews in the background on your drives at work. Remember, this is great, easy listening content at any time. Okay, so press that play button, hit that like, leave a comment. Okay. But anyway, but I was very excited about tonight's show. Again, I've gotten used to watch. I'm getting used to how I'm watching NXT now on CW New Network though. So I'm watching it on. I got YouTube TV to watch it now. So I'm used to pulling out my phone. Really cool because I'm used to sitting down on my TV in the living room, things like that. So it's a bit different now with this format, but I like it. I do like the new look of the titles. I like the new logo. I do miss black and gold. That's a very near and dear heart my though. But I do understand new network, new themes though. So it was really, really good overall. This is a very good episode. I loved how chaotic it felt at times overall on the show. Wherever I kind of like that. I like certain storyline progressions. I'm very high on Lexus King. listen. I just can't explain it. I'm
Today,
very
it's
high on.
finally the day. Because I was gonna say, I don't
Yes.
feel like I've heard you like really brag about, or like be really into him in the past couple of weeks, but today did it.
Oh yes, today did. Listen, hearing him talk about these things and saying he needs a corner man, things like that, and see him in the background, the women's segment, in deep thought, really, because he's realizing I don't have any friends, man. Like all men,
Is he hitting rock? Is he hitting rock bottom? Do you think is this like his rock bottom where he's starting to have that like change in his personality?
yes, this is Sad Corbin. You remember Sad Corbin? Remember Down in
Yeah,
Blood Corbin? This is where he is, and I'm liking it. I love the references to the fact he says people think I'm a loose cannon. I was like, there they go. There they go. Yeah, I like that. I like that. But overall, a phenomenal episode, and I cannot wait to get into it with you tonight. And all the people in the DWO, we cannot wait to have you all in here. All right, let's make this a phenomenal show. I want all the comments in here and everything. Y'all super chatted up for Denise tonight, man. See him working hard. These dope interviews. Super chatted up for her tonight, y'all.
so in regards to Lexus King, it's funny because for like the longest time we've been wondering like where is this going? What is happening with Lexus King, right? Because he came in red hot and we were all expecting all of these real big things,
Yes.
right? And then for such a long time, we were kind of just seeing Lexus sort of just pick up a bunch of random like he had wins, but there weren't really big wins. He had a bunch of random losses that just didn't feel right. Like it didn't feel like it pertained to the character. So it feels like now we're in this phase where things might be changing for Lexus King. Like even seeing him in the back chatting it up with Charlie Dempsey and all of this, like there's got to be a change. And I'm wondering, like, okay, what is the direction that you feel that they're going in with Lexus King based off of some of the interactions that we got today?
Now, if I'm not mistaken, this could be one of them and like MJF's words where he just like is a really good guy for just so long, and then he pulls a dick move. I could be wrong because I see that happening too. I truly see them wanting to reinvest in Lexus King of some sort because when he first got there, again, red hot, had an amazing entrance with the throne and all that. But when he lost that throne, in my mind, I was like, yeah, he must have fucked up something. Like that's what I thought. I was like, he must have did something. You know, when you lose your
Yeah,
interest, when you lose,
you're like, you're being demoted. What happened to you?
yeah, you must have messed something up behind the scenes. You did something. But I feel now, now they're bringing them back in there. I love the character development. I feel in the industry they're in, if you get any few seconds of TV time, that means they see something in you. You're on the show, and I feel he's got more TV time, more talking time. He was in multiple segments tonight, so I'm looking at that like they're clearly looking into doing something with him long term. To give him this much airtime on television, I was happy about it. He's a good on the mic. Matches are getting better, and I'm looking forward to seeing how they play this out. I don't think he's ready to be like main event scene yet though, but making him like maybe like a good face contender for the North American title, I feel is a really good spot to put him in right now.
Yeah, like I'm curious about seeing that because for the longest time, Lexus King has been a heel, right? Like even though
Yeah.
things haven't necessarily been all that, hot on the show, he's still been a heel, right? With that facial hair, like you're a heel, right? The
Yeah,
way that you're
absolutely.
acting, you're a heel. But the point is though that having Lexus King though, I think make that change into a babyface role. I think there's something there because for the most part, I feel like every time we did have that conversation about nothing was happening with Lexus King, we were having the conversation because we wanted something to happen with Lexus King. I think we really wanted to see a payoff to all of the really cool vignettes that he was cutting when he first got to NXT, all of the promos that he was cutting. We wanted to see the payoff to that. And I feel like that is the biggest thing in regards to Lexus King. Like, I want to see Lexus King, whether he's going for the NXT North American Championship, the NXT Championship. I want to see him in stories with Ethan Page, Oba Femi, like you just mentioned, Trick Williams. I think that can happen, but it's just a matter of like reshaping some of the stuff that we've been seeing the last couple of weeks because it kind of got a little bit confusing. Like it didn't match the stuff that we were seeing for Lexus King on the show didn't necessarily match his introduction into NXT. So we'll see what happens there, but it looks like the tide is turning for Lexus King. We got a couple of super chats here that I want to go into and read. So let's see what the people want to get into. We got Sheldon Jackson in the house who says, I'm intrigued by this new possible heel turn from Nikkita because I believe Nikkita is the one who attacked Adriana Rizzo earlier in the show. Oba conveniently having her jacket and Oba thanking her. Hey, okay, so Sheldon, when I saw that, when he came in and like gave her jacket and thanked her, I didn't assume that meant she attacked Adriana Rizzo, but I think you're onto something here. I thought my reaction to that was, wait, are we starting some sort of romance angle with Nikkita and Oba Femi? That's where my mind went. My mind didn't even go to, oh, she's the person who attacked Adriana Rizzo. But I'm so happy that you pointed this out because now I'm seeing the story totally different in terms of for the specific portion for Nikkita and for Adriana, because obviously we know Oba Femi's beefing with Tony D'Angelo. You had him take out Luca Crusifino today in the match, literally power bombed him into a freaking ladder, and that thing split in half. Great stuff there. But in terms of Nikkita and Adriana, I guess I didn't put two and two together. Thank you, Sheldon.
You know what?
I feel slow, Oba. I mean, I'm slow. I just called you Oba. You literally proved my point, Chinedu. I feel slow today.
Don't feel slow. First of all, don't feel slow, okay? Do not feel slow because I was on the same boat with you, all right? I thought this was going to be a romance.
I mean, never mind. I'm done. I can't get past this, guys. We're literally 11 minutes into the show.
But look, I'm with you, Denise. I thought it was going to be a romance, too. First of all, shout out to the homie Sheldon, man. Always coming through with a dope super chat and the great observation because that makes sense. That makes very good sense, though. And honestly, I feel a heel turn for Nikkita could work out. They have a lot of faces right now, I feel. They have a lot of good guys at the top of the card. And Nikkita lines, the way she's, like, the way with her size and her in-ring style, it could lend itself very well to being a heel. So I like it. I didn't even think about that connection because when she came out again, I thought it was a little romance thing, the same thing. I'm like, okay, I can like that. I'm with that. Let's see what happens. But what you're saying, Sheldon, makes a lot more sense.
We got everyone in the chat here. Dan Jackson is like Chinedu, the ruler. Chinedu. Oh. Now you gotta do the
You gotta tune every time. Not the Wakanda, but the like I like to do that. We'll come to this ring. Dominate. Win this match. 1, 2, 3. I love it.
There you go. But no, for real. Like I think this is a great observation because first of all, I'm happy because we were just talking about Adriana Rizzo last week, right? We were talking about them adding women to certain stables to kind of add a little bit of color, a little bit of life, right, to the groups. We were talking about this with Adriana Rizzo. We were talking about this with Brenly Reese. Who else were we? So many women. I mean, Jaida Parker with OTM, all of them, right? And so Adriana Rizzo with the family, she has been there for them, but she hasn't necessarily had something of a focus for her. She's been Adriana Rizzo of the family. She hasn't been Adriana Rizzo on her own. Like, we haven't seen much of her at all in terms of like the wrestling. Like, I can't even tell you if she's good or not. I legitimately cannot tell you that. So I want to see Adriana Rizzo and Nikkita get into it. I want to see Nikkita and Oba Femi in some sort of like, I don't even know if I should say a romance or a partnership, sort of like what we're seeing. It could either be a romance or it could be a partnership like what we saw with Rhea Ripley and with Damian Priest. I have no idea what the end game is here, but I do like it though. And I'm intrigued by it, especially since Nikkita's just coming back and she also needs something to do.
Yes. Yes, indeed. Great super chat, Sheldon, for real. Much love.
All righty. Thank you so much to Sheldon. We got Bailey Darley here who says, hey, when are you expecting a Roxanne call-up? First of all, thank you so much, Bailey, for this generous super chat. So in regards to Roxanne being called up, it's so funny, right? Because she has been the person that I think numerous times, every draft, every time you think it's the moment for her to get called up, you always think it's going to happen. We've seen her in the Royal Rumble, I think, 2, 3 times now? 2 times for sure with Roxanne in the Royal Rumble.
Yeah,
she has performed. She's performed on the Raw roster. Like, she's gotten some pretty cool opportunities, to showcase herself to that main roster audience. However, it hasn't actually happened yet. And here's the thing, I've never been in a rush about Roxanne being called up to the main roster because she is so freaking young. And just when we thought, it had seemed like Roxanne had done just about everything that she could do on the main roster, all of a sudden you got all these brand new players and also returning people. You got Cora Jade, Giulia, Stephanie Vaquer. Just those three people alone can already give months worth of storylines to Roxanne Perez, to the point where, like, she doesn't need to be called up. She could literally be called up and pushed to the sides, right? Because the focus is on so many other people on the main roster. But here on NXT, it's like she is this leader. She is at the very mountaintop, and she does have a lot of people to basically go out there and do all these matches with.
I definitely agree, Denise, because I'm and y'all know I am a big Roxanne fan. Okay, Roxanne from Texas, reality wrestling, Booker T, Row Nation. Look it up. All right, Roxanne was our girl, our champion out here. So what happens to you on the main roster? And I mean, I want to see on the main roster like right now. But like you said too, she's only 22. That's what makes this stuff so insane. She's only 22 years old. So like, even if let's say she's in NXT for, let's say, hypothetically, another 3 years, she'll be 25 on the main roster. That is insane still. So it's like, there's really, again, like you said, there's really no rush. I mean, maybe let's just want to see how it goes though. But with the new additions of these new characters and new players, like you said, it's months worth of storylines. And to me, I still have to see Roxanne versus Cora. That still has to happen. I know they're together now though, but that has to happen before they leave the NXT brand, to me.
Right now, I think I feel a little bit more excited about the potential matchups that Roxanne Perez can have on NXT than the potential matchup she can have on the main roster, because I know she's not going to be like, first month in, competing against, I don't know, Bianca Belair or something. I mean, I guess it can happen, of course. We've seen cool things like that happen for, other people and whatnot. But I am excited about what she's doing on NXT, where I don't feel the need to say, hey, let's go and let's demand we get Roxanne called up. But I guess to answer Bailey's question, if I were to predict it, God, if it were to happen next year, I personally would want her another year in NXT at least. But I don't know, maybe it's too much. I have no idea.
And if you're asking me as well, babe, first of all, babe, thanks for the amazing super chat. I would want her to debut. I would say probably maybe again, Raw after Mania. I want her in somewhat, not maybe like a stalker storyline, but I want her in something like that, to where somebody's been harassing someone on this main roster for weeks, months, and they don't know who it is. It's her. I want her inserted in a really amazing, cool storyline like that. Raw after Mania, in my opinion.
So a build up to it, not just oh, hey, here's Roxanne, she's now on the main roster, but more of a lead up to it.
Yeah, lead up to it. Like it's been going on, someone in the background for a little bit. It don't have to be main focus though. Some simmer in the background, build it up around Royal Rumble, and then really kick it off after Mania with her on the main roster with somebody, a good face on there. Keep her as a heel, keep her really interesting and strong. We finally found out who it is. Good build up, and I feel it'll be a good payoff for her to insert her that way, Raw after Mania.
Bailey, thank you so much. We got Dream Ninja 77 who says that closing introduction of Zarya went hard. So let's talk about this, because we were all under the assumption, by the way, it looks like Delta is now going by Zarya in NXT, and that was basically announced today. So earlier in the day, we had a little vignette for her, and that's when we saw her name, Zarya. So I'm thinking, oh, okay, we're expecting her at Halloween Havoc, right? That's where all of the teases and everything had been made seen. And then today, at the closing of the show, we got the lights went down and we got this little video, and it all happened so fast. I'm not even sure she actually came out, or was it just a video of her looking like she came out, because truthfully it happened so fast I wasn't even sure what I saw. And I'm it looked like she was standing there at the entrance, but I wasn't even sure, because we saw the image of her and then that's it, bam, CW, it ended, show was over.
I was the same way, because I'm watching on YouTube TV though, so I saw it and then the jump cut. I thought my screen froze or something like that, because out here it jumped to local news out here. I was like, wait, did I miss it? Because I saw her standing right there and I heard someone say, oh man. and I heard like a fan say something, and it ended. I was like, so I took it back. I was like, well, I must have missed it, but that's how it ended. Listen, Sean, the way they're ending these episodes is so insane. I really like it because they had the credits roll. They had Paul Levesque right there written all this stuff. There's everything, and then that happened, and like I love how again just that chaotic feeling. Like they've made it seem like it can end any kind of way, even though they can no longer have like an overrun. They're still showing we can still be very unpredictable when it comes to these endings.
Okay, by the way, M. Durrett, thank you so much. He said that she was there according to Vic. Okay, yeah, because it happened so fast. Okay.
Mhm.
Okay. Rally Cap says she came out. There's an extended video out there. Okay, good. Because I was
Oh,
so confused. I was the way it happened so fast. Like if you blinked, you would have missed seeing
I
her
know.
out there, right? Like legit, it was so quick on the screen. And so I'm like, okay, she was there like physically, right? Like, because it was
Yes.
a mixture. It was a mixture of a video and then it looked like she was there in person. So I again was expecting to not see her make her debut until Halloween Havoc because that's even the earlier promotion that they showed today had the Halloween Havoc logo. Everything has been leading to Halloween Havoc. So now I'm wondering, okay, if she debuted here today, what are we getting at Halloween Havoc? Because clearly she's not going to be in a match right away, or who knows, maybe she can be, but what are we going to get? Are we going to get like a promo? Is she going to appear? Is she going to confront somebody? Like, what is going to happen with Zarya over on Halloween Havoc?
They make this so loaded, like it's so unpredictable because I don't know what it's going to be. Excuse me, because she came in at the end of this amazing women's match, so you really don't even know how she's going to debut. Is she a face? Is she a heel? What like you said? What are her intentions? Whatever. Because again, I wasn't very familiar with her, but the way they presented her in these packages and the way it looks, I'm very interested. I'm very intrigued. She looks like she's about to sell a lot of merch. Like the business guy, me like, oh, this girl looks like she can sell like very marketable. So whatever
Yes,
happens,
very cool. Like she's an action figure you would want to buy.
yes, I'm like, okay, this girl, it's gonna be she's gonna print a lot of shirts for the company though. So I look at it that way. So I'm excited to see how she comes in. Again, I'm not familiar with her at all. I have not seen a match. I've only had to look up a few things. So I'm I'm really anxious to see what happens with this. So they may Halloween have it very low. It's a lot of things on this card. Sean, Mr. Michaels, you out there cooking, sir? You out there cooking, boy?
So
I
I'm
see you,
gonna
man.
show here everybody on the screen why it kind of looks so like once you get like a second glimpse at it, you can tell what we're looking at. So she was definitely there.
Yes.
Of course, like with the big like white light in the big background, it could have almost looked like the production of the video, but no, yes, she was definitely there in person. And so you can say this was her official debut because she was there. She appeared. It happened. So Zarya is here. And earlier in the night, we also had a what do you call it? Freaking a tweet from Rhea Ripley putting her over, basically saying like, Zarya, welcome time to show everyone what you can do. So
Ooh.
instantly it's like you got the the rub from one of the
Yeah.
biggest stars in WWE, Rhea Ripley. And so that was great too. And now all of a sudden, I know we got a lot of people here in the chat too being like, hey yo, we want to see Rhea Ripley and Zarya at one point freaking go at it. And that's exactly what I would want to see too.
Me too. I didn't know Rhea Ripley put a tweet out endorsing her like that. That is
Yeah, also because she's
huge.
Australian.
Oh, she is. Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Listen, man. Listen. Their roster. I'm gonna be real. They may have to add an extra hour to the show just for the women's division. The way it's stacked, the way it's looking.
Yeah, for real. Dude, I'm telling you, it's just like a never-ending sort of like you got to fight for your spot. You were talking earlier about how you get TV time, you got to take it and you got to run with that. But even just like the name though, can I say, usually we like see really crappy name changes, right? Like we've talked about this so many times where people get their names changed and it kind of sucks. I love the name Zarya. And I was like looking it up to see what it means. And obviously depending on what like if you're like depending on what you're looking at in terms of the origin of the
Yeah.
name, it can mean different things. But for the most part, it seems like the general term is like princess, but princess or queen, like somebody that represents like more power and more grace. So she's not like a princess, like a, Princess Peach, totally different than Princess Peach or like a badass. So I thought, hey, okay, that's a pretty cool kind of a name to do there. I like Zarya.
I do too. Like the name change is very, very good. I love it. Something with a Z in there. It's different. It's out there. There are no other Zarias on the roster. We got a couple bronze. We got some couple
Yeah.
bronze on the roster though, but no Zarias though. So again, very interested to see what happens. I feel like she's gonna print them a lot. She's gonna make them a lot of money in merch. I feel just because of what her gimmick is and all that. And to get a rub like that from arguably the biggest like women's star on the roster right now, Rhea Ripley. That's a very, very big endorsement. That's very
Yes.
good.
I'm excited. I'm really excited to see what is done here. I'm excited to see who she feuds with. I think there's a lot of stuff to look forward to in regards to the women's division. But let's keep it going. We got Bailey Darley here who says, to make it fair, when is Trick Williams coming to the main roster? Hey, that's a good question too. See, here's the thing. I don't think that the men's division is nearly as stacked as the women's division. So I feel like for the men, part of me is like, you should stay here because if not, we're not going to have any men to watch on the show. So we kind of need some of you guys to stick around, right? Because they still need more. Like, of course, they brought in some new people. Great. We've talked about them. Wonderful. But I still think that they need a lot more men to really fill out that roster. And so part of me is thinking, well, stay in NXT. Don't go anywhere because we need you. But then the other part of me is going, dude, at some point, we've kind of seen all the matches that we can possibly see with this person. So, hey, I do want to see you on the main roster. If you were to ask me, who would you rather see go to the main roster first, Trick Williams or Roxanne Perez? I would say Trick Williams because I want to see him with like other big stars on the show already. Whereas Roxanne Perez, I still want to see her with all these other girls on NXT because the women's roster is there. The men's roster doesn't have as much depth as the women's on NXT.
I definitely agree. Like Trick again, and by the way, Bailey, thank you again for the made super chat. It's a great question. Trick Williams, one of my favorite stars on there. He has stayed on NXT. He's the only like top star that's a face that they have right now. Like there's no one else that has the charisma that he has, the mic, the crowd control. Like there's no one else. So unfortunately he doesn't have that many feuds. Like the feud with him and Ethan, I feel that's like the best thing his best option right now. I feel they're doing a good thing with that though, but if he goes to the main roster, there will be no one else to cheer for besides like who else is the next top babyface? Javon Evans?
Mean, I was about to say Javon Evans,
Javon.
but again, he's so little. Like he's still a kid. He's still a kid.
He's still a kid. And Trick is the only guy the only person who looks like a star. Like again, I've said before too, I was critical of Wesley's appearance last week. I will be critical of it again tonight. But like Trick Williams comes out dressed like a star. I know sometimes he wears the vest, but he has the physique. He knows how to wear it. He keeps his hair, everything tight. You saw him on Raw last night. He had on a turtleneck, a slacks, he had on the belt. Looked like a big deal. Like a big deal. You can tell he's a big deal. So I would want him on the main roster. I feel I would want him to like debut maybe at Rumble. Like started something in the Rumble right there. Come on there. Well, maybe not. Oh, maybe.
I mean, he could go into the Rumble and like for example, go into the Rumble. I mean, we've had NXT people in the Rumble, right? So it's not necessarily, doesn't mean it's like a debut or anything, right? We just have NXT surprises. I do think Trick Williams should definitely be in the Rumble this year. And he could go in there. And it's just like the fact that he's there is going to be like, oh shit, Trick Williams, your NXT champion. He's there. He's here. Get a couple of maybe one or two eliminations from some guys on the lower card. Great. And I don't know. I have no problem with that whatsoever. So I do think that's a pretty decent idea.
I'll also Denise too. Although I feel like they have a plan for him on SmackDown. I felt like who'd have thought that like between like Carmelo Hayes and Trick Williams like right now like they would both be considered like their calls would be such big deals because when Trick first debuted. He was just
very far behind. I wasn't even sold on Trick Williams the first couple of weeks. I liked his promos. His promos I always liked. I thought he was a good talker, like right off the bat. That was what made him stand out. But wrestling-wise, I was just like, oh, he's so far behind from Carmelo Hayes. Like Carmelo Hayes, it's so advanced as a pro wrestler. And so you kind of saw them like one guy up here and one guy down here in terms of the pro wrestling, especially because we were also in this phase where we were transitioning from NXT Black and Gold to this colorful NXT 2.0 during that time. And I mean, when you're transitioning from that period to this period, the big period what NXT Black and Gold was known for was the pro wrestling. That was the thing that people loved about the Black and Gold era, was the really great wrestling that you were getting on the show. And so when Trick Williams first came in, like, he didn't fit. I didn't think he necessarily fit the mold of the Black and Gold era. He fit the mold of NXT 2.0, which was, yes, there's wrestling obviously involved, but it's a little bit more sports entertainment, character based versus the Black and Gold era that we were seeing. So I during that time, I saw Carmelo Hayes and Trick Williams so far apart from each other, but Trick Williams always did have the mic skills though. And I think what really, really helped him though was that, for me, what made me into a Trick Williams fan was the matches that he had with Ilya Dragunov. That's what did it. That's what made me a fan, because I thought, okay, even if he can't, go out there and have like these crazy, insane matches with just about anybody the way that Carmelo Hayes does, he does go in there and have good matches, and he can have even better matches if he's in there with a wrestler that really knows what he's doing, somebody like an Ilya Dragunov. And so it was the matches that he had with Ilya that made me a fan. But yeah, if you're asking right now, who's bigger, Carmelo Hayes or Trick Williams? What's your answer? I'm going to say right now at this moment, probably Trick Williams.
Trick Williams. Yeah, and again,
one's on the main roster and one's not.
Yeah, and again, I see positive features for both of them though. But again, like when you look at where it started, it's just like, again, the way they book Trick and the way Trick is developed has just been truly amazing. It's shown the how amazing their development system really is though, and like the way they built up stars, like, man. I'm not trying to get off topic though, but the way they built up people, like, just amazing though. But Bayley, again, for me, have him come in and rumble, just to hear that entire stadium go whoop that Trick, because they're gonna do it. They're gonna do it, and I just can't wait for that though. But again, Bayley, man, thank you so much for the super chat. Great question.
So while we're on the topic of Trick Williams and Ethan Page, let's talk about their confrontation that they had, because of course we know that we're seeing them go face to face against each other at Halloween Havoc. Ethan Page is getting his rematch. So the pro, I do want to say, Trick Williams, damn, that white fur coat Chinedu. That needs to be like his thing. Like, how everyone has like their trademark look. Darby Allin has his pink jacket. Everybody's got like the one item that they can rock. Bianca Belair with her braids and the little lipstick. I think Trick Williams and that white fur jacket need to like reconnect more often, because that made him look expensive. Okay. I was looking at Trick and I was like, damn, bro, you look like you cost like millions of dollars. He looked like a star.
Yeah, like a true star. And it was at one point the light hit him and you couldn't really see that much. It just started shining like, oh yeah, this is a star. This is amazing.
He's like walking out there like an angel. Oh, cue the church bells.
That boy came out literally without a stain on him. Literally a stain on. I mean, Edge up. I mean, I felt like him and Steve Harvey back in the day. His Edge was just amazing, y'all. That's just phenomenal. And again, that's just a star look. The way he dressed, the way he carries himself, and it's just. Again, I feel when he hits the main roster, they have to almost put him right to the title picture, because he's such a huge star now. He makes that NXT title look like a big deal. Man, I want to do some sit-ups after I see him. I want to do some sit-up stuff. I was like, I'm nah. So
you're like, I'm not even gonna try. You're like, I'm in the meat division.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I'm already married, man. My girl already like me. It's just something like, wait, I got
Chinedu, no, okay? First of all, just because you're married does not mean you can let yourself go, okay, Chinedu? I'm speaking for all wives and husbands and whoever out there, okay?
Yeah, I got you. I swear,
but Trick Williams makes you feel the way I feel when I watch the Victoria's Secret fashion show. Whenever I see that, I'm like, you know what? Damn it. I need to stop with the stupid shit that I eat all the time. There was some girl posted on TikTok. She posted a, like as a joke, obviously, a bowl with ice. And she put, this is my dinner now for the foreseeable future after watching the Victoria's Secret fashion show. Or Zendaya. Did you see Zendaya's outfit that she recently wore? The gold one that was inspired by Cher?
No, but I heard about it. I heard Dana shut the whole thing down.
Oh my God, Chinedu. Okay, I'm going to look for it. Everybody needs to see it. Because when I saw this picture of Zendaya, and her outfit that she wore, I wanted to just like get my ass to the freaking gym. I wanted to cry. I was like, she looks so amazing. I want to look 0.01% like the way she does. Actually, let me just share the screen because this is not working out. 1 second. Let's see. Let's get this out here.
Let's see this legend.
Everybody needs to see this. So it's this picture here. Oh, crap. Wait. I'm trying to do the actual, let me see it open in new tab. All right. I'm trying to get this a little zoomed in. There you go. Are you seeing that? No, I'm sharing the wrong screen. Hold on. I'm new here. Hold on. I'm new here. I'm learning technology for the first time. Okay. Are you seeing this? Look at this. Exactly, right? Like, I'm telling you, this is amazing. Look at her. Look at Zendaya. When I saw that, I thought, girl, get your ass to the gym, start eating better. That's how I felt. Like I needed to go and eat better and go to the gym because Zendaya looked amazing.
Let me tell you something. Be real with you, all right? That's nice and all. That's cool. All right. Me, myself, I love a girl. We go out, we gonna eat. I ain't trying to have all the other stuff. I want her, we gonna eat. Like that. She look like that looks good, but like
she does eat. She just eats healthy though. There's a difference between like the clean eating. I don't clean eat, Chinedu. I don't clean eat. I could clean eat. That's what I'm saying. Like people like that, they take care of themselves. Like she looks healthy. She's got a great glow. So she's definitely eating. It's just healthy eating.
She's eating like 5 or 6 healthy meals a day though, man. But that doesn't sound fun. You know what sounds fun?
And working out, you know, like putting in the work.
But that sounds cool. But you know what sounds even better? Tacos before a wrestling show, okay? Tacos and Doritos together before a wrestling show, man. That sounds like
no, you know what sounds good? Denise Salcedo looking like Zendaya. That sounds good, Chinedu. And Chinedu looking like Trick Williams, okay? We gotta have some goals around here.
And you know, and I truly will set that goal.
Jay Stone's like, can Tom Holland throw hands? So that's like the thing. Like, can Tom Holland? I can't even talk anymore. Can Tom Holland fight? Can he fight?
You don't have to, man. Because listen, the woman he has on his arm is gorgeous, man. Maybe some dudes will try it, man. Look, it's because listen, he may not throw hands though, but if he can still throw them webs like in the movies, he'll be all right, man. He's still Spider, man. Let him know. Let him know, man. He still beat people up out here behind your girl.
Okay, now here's the thing. This is what I wanted to get to, but I got caught up with Trick Williams's fur coat. The other thing that I wanted to say is that I really loved Ethan Page's promo today. Ethan Page, I thought, won this little promo war that they did here, this back and forth segment, because I came out of this rooting for Ethan Page. And I don't know if that was like the intention, right? Like that couldn't possibly be the intention, but I came out of this going, damn, Ethan Page made some really great points. He basically said, I have been at this pro wrestling thing for 17 years, busting my butt. I didn't have a performance center. I didn't have all of these legends teaching me how to be a star in the biggest stage of them all. I didn't have all these things. I had to go through hell to get here where you are now, where you had all this help. And I thought, damn, Ethan Page is right. And how do you not root for someone, Chinedu, who took the long, hard road versus somebody who did not take as long as hardest road or whatever? You know, that's at least the story that they're kind of telling here. It made me want to root for Ethan Page. And I'm going, I don't think I'm supposed to be feeling this way.
I agree. And that's why I like this segment, but then I didn't like it because of that reason. It was a great promo by Ethan Page. It really was, though. But I was like, Ethan, you're not a face. What are you doing? Like, hey, man, you're not supposed to be saying this. I was like, hey, I'm just like, you like, because it felt very impassioned. It felt like you could tell he meant what he was saying. Like, because if you know Ethan's story, you know he really has been at this grind for almost 20 years. It really takes a lot. And so for me, I was like, this should have been when he turns face. Like, no, because it made Trick look like, again, like he had everything handed to him, like a bit entitled, because Trick's response, I felt, was the best he could have done, you know, with the charisma, shake it off. Okay, I'm okay. I'm glad you was getting your butt if there's nothing with you on Sunday, because I'm glad he kind of kept it light and a little bit comical. But it was good that
he said he was not going to let him shame him for being blessed. And I thought, okay, that's fair. That's fair. He was blessed.
Yes, he was. And like I said, he did, I felt, the best as he could. But that promo was so was so fire, man. Again, it was so inflamed. It was like it was hard for Trick to say anything back that would make him come off not like a bit entitled. Like, oh man, you really are kind of spoiled this. Like, you made him look like a Richie Rich character, and we want Trick to be the underdog in here. You know, the person we root for. But
this is what I think they should have done now, because as I was listening to you talk, I went back and I was remembering this, right? Because obviously we know Trick Williams has also, like, he didn't grow up, entitled, right? Like, we know that. Yeah. But when you compare his journey to Ethan Page's journey, of course, Ethan Page's journey was just a longer and harder to get to that stage, right? So in that sense, yes, Ethan Page had the more grueling journey. However, what I think Trick Williams should have said was, hey, I respect all of what you did to get here. I had a different road, but I also had my hardships. And he should have talked about some of his past, because what he also did, and I know this because of the interview that he did with me, he spoke about how, like, he went to go, he was doing football. He got dropped from that. It did not work out. His plan was to go to the XFL, and he has no idea how it happened that the WWE ended up reaching out to him for a tryout. Of course, the XFL WWE connection was there. So he ended up getting asked to do a tryout. He goes to the tryout, but he wasn't necessarily brought into WWE right away. So he had to go and get better as a wrestler. And then he went to the Indies and then went back to WWE and then got into the Performance Center. So what I'm saying is, he could have maybe mentioned some of that and being like, you know what? You don't know what I did to get here. You don't know some of the sacrifices that I had to make to get here. You don't know about some of the rejections that I faced to get here. So while you have been at this for 17 years, that does not, diminish the work that I have put in. And I feel like that would have been a good comeback to Ethan Page, basically saying, like, dude, I outworked you or whatever. I was just trying to think here of what could be a possible response to that didn't make him look like he got the easy road.
That would have been perfect too, because it would have showed that, okay, maybe I have like a faster route here, but it's not like I haven't had dreams deterred in my life. It would have shown that. And it's like, why didn't they do that? And so again, to me, it's a bit confusing. And also, side note, I know Joe Hendry got on Ethan Page's clothes though, but I want to say this dude, I like the way he's dressed. He's dressing like a heel star character. And again, I like both these people in the ring. He's wearing the suit. He's wearing it with like the loafers with like no socks, kind of like a bit douchebaggery. I like how they're portraying these characters on the show, how they're dressed, because although it doesn't matter at the core what you look like, guys. Everyone knows that in the heart though. But on a mainstream national television show, you're trying to portray characters that are larger than life. It is important that they look like stars. So on this setting, I really just like the dynamic of how they were dressed, styled. It had nothing to do with wrestling, though, but just the look of these two. It looked like two stars in the ring, and I really did like that. I just wanted to point that out.
I feel you, man. I agree. All right, we got Casper215 here who says NXT is basically a full-on women's promotion now. I mean, they really are pumping out a lot of really great talent, and we haven't even gotten to like half of the things that we got today with the women. But it's the thing, though. I will say this, like this, and it's always been like that, right? Of course, you can't, forget about the work that that Sasha Banks did, that Bayley did. You can't forget all of that from the Black and Gold era. But even now, it just feels like there's a more excessive amount of women, to the point where it's like, oh shit, the future is really looking bright. But what I want to get at, though, is that the NXT women's division has truly been something that I have been looking forward to watch, because I feel like I'm being rewarded as a viewer. Because, okay, for the most part, you get introduced to somebody, right? All of a sudden you learn of Jane Doe. Jane Doe appears backstage at NXT. And then slowly but surely, we get some character development for Jane Doe. And then we start to see Jane Doe wrestle. And it feels like, to me, I feel like I'm being rewarded for paying attention and watching the show, where now I can see this person go from someone with that I don't know about to all of a sudden someone that I'm a fan of and someone that has potential. And that has been my favorite thing about NXT, is being rewarded for watching these people. And I want to see them. I like to see them grow. And a perfect example of that, Chinedu, is Lash Legend. So we have Damage Control versus Jakara and Lash Legend here on the show. And we've been talking a whole lot about Lash Legend on this channel, and not just on this NXT post show, because she's been appearing on SmackDown. She had an appearance on Raw. It feels like Lash Legend and Jakara Jackson are everywhere right now. But that's the thing. I like the spotlight that they're being given right now, where all of a sudden I'm looking at, I always liked Lash Legend, right? Sure, I always liked her. But now I'm seeing her in a different light based off of what I've been seeing the last like 3 little weeks that we've been seeing her do some appearances on the main roster. So if, for example, it's things like that, I liked that I tuned into NXT and that I got to see Lash Legend, do a couple of things here and there. And now I'm seeing her on the main roster. Now I'm seeing her become a star. And that's what it is for everybody else. We got to see it with Tiffany Stratton. We got to see it. We're going to see it. We've been seeing it with Roxanne Perez. There's so many examples of this. And I think that's the rewarding part in all of it.
I agree. Their match was one of my favorite segments tonight, not just for the match alone, though, but it shows that to me, it felt like they were putting effort into this women's tag division. Like, it's showing that, again, this is part of the chaotic nature of the show that I was talking about that I really enjoyed. I was not expecting Piper Niven to pull up. I wasn't expecting Chelsea Green to pull up. I wasn't expecting that at all. I was not. And like the way they portrayed them, like they really had them in there, like really kicking ass. I liked it. Because like Lash Legend really did handle Piper Niven on SmackDown to a point where it showed Bianca and showed Jay looking shocked. She lifted it up for last extension. She hit crisp on Piper Niven, who was not no little small lady. They seemed like a very sweet lady, by the way. Her, great interview and all that. But there again, she's a powerhouse in there, and like she got handled. She came back with NXT. She showed that anyone can show up on NXT. I like that too. When you're watching the show, anybody can show up on this show. Anybody, any champions, feuds, rivalries, it don't matter. So I did like the chaotic nature of it. And I like to show how valuable the women's tag team titles are. These many, like now we have teams now. Now we have teams in here in the mix, and this is what I wanted to see though. So hopefully that leads to something a lot though. But again, seeing Lash Legend and Jakara on these different shows was really, really good. I love it. And I'm wondering, like, do you think this means that perhaps Metaphor will be coming to an end? We got Aura, in his own storyline. Still have no idea when Norm Dart's coming back.
Have they even interacted with Aura recently, Lash and Jakara? They haven't, had they?
I feel like I don't think so, because he's been involved with Lexus King the past few weeks. I know they were off a few weeks ago though, but lately I don't think so. And again, with Noam Dar on the shelf, we don't know when he's coming back. And I'm just looking like, do you think they may be getting ready to call these two up, like maybe a SmackDown Raw or something like that, or keep them on NXT? Because there's a lot of women on NXT right now, and they need tag teams on the main roster to help fill this title scene out though. So I was thinking, maybe.
No, I think where you're thinking is the right track, because after I saw Lash Legend and Piper Niven on SmackDown, I thought, dude, come on, like, let's just run with it. Let's just run with it. Yeah. You're talking about that women's tag team division on the main roster is there's some of it is hot, some of it is cold. It kind of just depends on what you like and what you're into. But I do think that the division still needs a lot of work. I think they need more teams that people are going to be genuinely interested in. And I can see them being genuinely interested in Jakara and Lash Legend just based off of what we've seen so far the last couple of weeks. So that's where I'm at. And I do think it would be a good idea to like have them go to the main roster. But who knows, man? We'll see. I kind of like them floating around, getting a little bit of the, having their cookie jars having their cookie jars everywhere. So that's kind of nice too. But Casper 215, thank you so much for the super chat. That's very kind of you. We got Cheesesteak 59. Cheesesteak, I was looking for you yesterday on the Raw watch along because Chinedu, we had Braun Breaker on the show, and you know how they were in Philadelphia. Oh, you thought I had Braun Breaker on the show here? No. I was like, what? I saw your face light up. You were like, Braun Breaker was here on the show?
I was like, I missed that. I thought I watched. I was like, what?
You're like, why didn't you invite me, Denise, if you had Braun Breaker on? No, Braun Breaker on Raw. He was like, I didn't come here for cheesesteaks. And so I thought of Cheesesteak 59. That was all I wanted to say.
I remember he said that too. That was a good line. So you had me, bro. I was like, Braun, what? But that's a very good line though.
Cheesesteak 59 says NXT is coming to the ECW Arena. NXT is coming to the ECW Arena. What was your reaction to that, Chinedu? Were you an ECW fan? Was this something that you got excited for?
I was familiar with ECW. I was a fan of it in theory though, because I had seen certain clips, matches. I knew who the stars were, especially once they came to WWF during the invasion. I thought it was so cool to see them. You know, at the time I was a teenager though, so I didn't really realize how watered down the roster was though. So I was excited to see ECW in general though. So as I got older, I looked them up though. But I'm very excited to see this though. And let's be know, man, they really are trying to they're not gonna like AEW breathe no kind, because I think this is the one on a Wednesday, right? This is the one that's going head to head with AEW.
November 6th, yes, because they decided to go on a Wednesday because of the election coverage and everything going down with that. They didn't want to, lose viewers and things like that. So apparently that's what it was. So they're doing the November 6th is November 6th on a Tuesday or a Wednesday. I'm sorry, I'm forgetting. I'm forgetting my dates here. Okay, yes. November 6th, exactly. That's when it is, and that's a Wednesday. So let me clarify.
Head to head AEW. So I'm expecting to see some ECW legends in there. I'm expecting to see an extreme theme for this show, perhaps though, and just again, WWE just cooking, man. Because I expect people to tune in just to see the nostalgia of ECW. Maybe, I don't think he will, but a Paul Heyman appearance would be dope. But since he's in storyline with Bloodline, I doubt we'll see him. But hey, you never know.
It's supposed to be like a big reveal when Paul Heyman comes back.
Yes.
But pertaining to the bloodline, of course. So yeah. Unless the bloodline decides to show up on NXT and they're like, hey, we came looking for the wise men. Where Paul Heyman's just sitting there at the 2300 arena waiting. No, actually, in the 2300 arena, I gotta tell you, is very cool. Chinedu, last year, the Busted Open party was at the 2300 arena. And so I got to go for the very first time. And I had no idea. They were like, oh, yeah, hey, you're going to come out to the ring. And I'm like, what? They're like, yeah, you're going to come out to the ring. And I was like, oh, shit. So I got to the ring. I did my little bit, right? But there was one moment in particular that Tommy Dreamer, right when I was about to walk out, he stops me and in front of everybody, he's like, I want you to soak in the best view. And so Tommy Dreamer, literally, it was so funny. He grabbed me and had me do a full circle around the entire ring to look at the entire thing and soak it in. Because he was like, I want you to take this moment and really, really soak it in. And it's crazy because it worked. Tommy Dreamer making me do that, look at absolutely everything in the building, right dead in the center of the ring, was so freaking cool to do. And everybody, even though it's a small venue, because everybody is standing and because it is so small, it's intimate, but it looks like just a sea of people, which is a totally different vibe from just different buildings and whatnot. It was very cool.
No, I definitely agree. First of all, y'all, again, it throws me off when she says these people that we grew up watching so casually, that she knows these people. Again, y'all, the fact that she knows these people, y'all, go watch all these interviews. It just throws me off the fact she knows these people.
I'm gonna stop saying these stories. I don't want to sound like I'm name dropping. I'm gonna stop saying stories.
No, you are not. It's just showing how hard you've worked, God. Listen, the fact that she has this kind of cat. Go watch these interviews, guys. And again, I know the 2300 arena, I believe it holds about 1300. But I think that's the seating size. But the way it looks like it's just again a sea. It looks like it's thousands sometimes.
Yeah, it looks like a lot. It looks like a lot for sure. No, but it's a pretty cool venue, and it's funny because it's in the middle of nowhere practically. Yeah, it's just a building. It's just a building. I can't explain it. If I wasn't a wrestling fan and I drove past the 2300 arena, I think they sold paper in there. I don't know. This looks like a boring little factory. You would have no idea what had gone in there at all. No idea. So at least, but inside it's pretty cool though. It is very cool. Alrighty. Thank you so much to Cheesesteak 59. We got Steven Marchuli here who says Carmen Petrovic getting ready for a heel run. So Ruka screams money babyface. Oh, dude, So Ruka, man. I have been such a fan. I've been a fan of her since day one, man. I have been rooting for this woman. But let's talk about that. We got Carmen Petrovic versus So Ruka. They're still doing the Ashanti, the Adonis, Carmen Petrovic story. I think she likes him. I think she does, because she wouldn't have been distracted by him flirting with some other girl if she didn't care for him. Or maybe she's just competitive and she's like, hey, if I can't have him, if he's not interested in me, he can't be interested in nobody. I don't know. But it seems like they're doing this to kind of give, like, this is Carmen's one of her biggest stories. She's been a part of like the stuff with Natalia and Lola Vice, but that wasn't necessarily about her. She was just part of it. This feels like her first big story.
Yes, I'm happy to see her show like some personality, some character though. Because when I saw her with that sword, I was like, this ain't gonna work. This ain't. this. Oh no, this ain't gonna. Yeah, man.
It's very silly. It's just too gimmicky, too gimmicky.
Yeah, it's too gimmicky. I was like, okay, nice. This ain't gonna work. But I'm happy to see her show some personality. And again, I'm happy to see her and Ashanti get some TV time because, especially with Ashanti, because he's been there for a while and he's been in different demos and things. I'm happy to see him get a chance to kind of be on his own to see where it goes. But I still would prefer something different. I ain't gonna lie, a little bit. The storyline itself is, it's entertaining. I want to see what happens. He pulled up, what I'm saying, with first of all, this is interesting to me. I was like, because I thought she didn't. I thought she didn't like him at all, and I think it's working because at first I was like, I don't care about this, but I'm up for like, what's going on here? I don't even like this guy. So why do you care? I think look what they're doing to me. They're pulling me into the storyline. They're doing it, but to me, I think it just kind of made me feel a little cringy to see Ashanti be like kind of suave like that. And I will feel that way about anybody when they do like, what's going on, girl? All that, lick all. It was like all the lip licking. Just okay.
Say, do guys really do that? Do they talk to girls and just lick their lips?
He's like, hey girl,
I mean, you do get the little. Talking to me and his tongue was all over his face, I'd be like, get away from me, you sicko.
Yes, exactly. Please call the police. But overall, I'm just happy to have a storyline going, happy to get some TV time, and I will say that yes, and Soul Ruka is money. That Soul Snatcher was beautiful. The way she just hits it is just money every time.
Yeah, every time. It's always something that gets excited. It's exciting to see. We got Dream Ninja 77 who says best women's division in wrestling, fight me. It's really good. It honestly really is. It's growing. I think part of the reason, again, why people like it is because I don't even know what to say. There's a lot of different characters. There's somebody for everybody, right? Like we all have different personalities. We all get drawn to different people. And I feel like that's part of what makes the women's NXT division cool, is having all of these different faces, but also having the stories go somewhere, right? Like everybody looks like they're doing something, or you can at least say, oh, this person's part of that, whatever, right? There's a lot to look at in the women's division.
I agree. And I feel from a business standpoint, and I could be wrong on this, I love what they're doing with that too, because something you also want in a business like this, you want women wrestling fans. Like you don't want just all guys. You want everybody there. You want to show like great athletes, not just the guys, but the women too, though. So I feel what they're doing is really good. There's something for everybody, for real. And again, I know they're all gorgeous ladies. They're all pretty and all that. That's cool. But I really like seeing the athleticism, like the Lola Vices and the Jada Parker, the aggression she has, her personality. She's cute. That's nice and all that though. But I like that they're giving them personalities and real edge to them. So I feel that's what makes them really stand out as well. I love it.
Speaking of standing out, Sheldon Jackson says WWE has uploaded the Zarya debut on YouTube. Ooh. Lovely. Okay, so I'm expecting it to be longer than what we saw on the broadcast version and also on the Twitter version, because the Twitter version had the broadcast version. So I'll look at that afterwards on YouTube. Thank you so much to Sheldon. We got Jay in the house who says Liv and Raquel are definitely popping up on NXT at some point. Tag division is cooking. The Lash Jakara stare down was a teaser for something in the future. Oh, for sure. I still think would be early, but Lash Legend's going to be a star on her own, and Jakara is going, like right now Jakara is sort of like riding the coattails of Lash, so that's good, right? Because she's getting the opportunity to show herself, right? Show what she can do too. Her name is being mentioned because she is part of this tag team, but eventually it's going to be Lash that breaks out and does her own thing. Like, I can't wait to see Lash and Jade Cargill. That's something I'm looking forward to. God, I want to see her and Bianca Belair. I want to see her and Rhea Ripley, her and Raquel because of the size. I mean, there's a lot of different things that I want to see there with Lash. And then in regards to Liv and Raquel popping up on NXT, oh, for sure. I mean, Raquel has definitely had, her fair share of history in NXT as well. So I can definitely see that. I'm trying to think what else. I feel like didn't we see Dominic? No, we saw Dominic and Rhea, right? On NXT a while ago.
Yeah. And I know,
I remember that, right?
Yeah. And I think was Dominic versus Trick Williams, wasn't that within the past year? In the past year, right? Was it?
Yeah, because I was gonna say, yeah, I recall seeing that. Maybe that was, I don't know if it was this year. I think it might have been late last year.
I think 2023. Yeah, but I mean, they definitely can.
The point is, it happened. The point is, it happened. We know
absolutely.
It did.
And I will say, Lash Legend is going to be an amazing heel world champion someday. She is.
Yeah, exactly. So thank you so much to Jay for bringing this up. And no, for reals, they really are getting a lot going on that women's division. Thank you so much for that super chat, man. All right. So with that being said, I want to get to the main event because that was something that we kind of just talked because of the ZARIA stuff. But let's talk about what went down here because we had Giulia and Stephanie Vaquer go up against Fatal Influence. And for the most part, they ate them up. They had a great match. Stephanie Vaquer got the win over on Jacy Jayne. She pinned Jacy Jayne, got the victory, but it was some nice tag team work that we got from Steph and from Giulia here. And but also we did get to see Cora and Roxanne, and they did their whole bit backstage. And then we also saw a really cool vignette for Giulia and Stephanie, which I really liked because it kind of explained a little bit of their background, why they're teaming up together, why they're friends with each other. It was simple. They met, they liked each other, they both hit hard, and they want to be friends and work together here on NXT, at least for now, to go up against Cora and Roxanne. So what did you think of what we saw here with this story?
First of all, I thought the VO package was beautiful. It was amazing. It reminded me of something similar to what Shinsuke Nakamura had with when he had that feud with Cody. They told it was a great story, things like that, because I know English is not their first language though. But again, there's so many ways around to tell a story though, because of what I don't want them to have on the mic to like speak to like
no like,
unless you're gonna have the awkwardness of it. Thank you so much though. So like having these deal packages like this, it tells a story concise. It lets us get into the character with her full thoughts, full expressions, like speaking clearly though, because again, like so we have so many people who are bilingual and like, but when people speak in their like in their original language, their birth language, whatever, like you feel the inflection of. It's like when I hear Damian Priest speak Spanish, I love it.
Yeah, like I get it. I get the passion. Yes.
So I feel you feel more passion. I love it that way. And this package was so good. And the idea of it made sense. It like the entire reason for the feud, it made sense. Who hits harder than me? I need to trust somebody to have my back because we both want this. It made perfect athletic sense. So that's what I loved about the entire package. This is really, really good. It's showing that and also let me know, hey, we're a team, but for now. I like that.
Yeah, seriously, for now.
For now, we're a team because these two girls over here, I'm saying these two dicks over here who've been causing issues for us, Roxanne and Jade. I mean, Roxanne and Cora, they've not issues though. But once we get past that, it's about that title, and there can only be one. I also got that from that too, not directly though, but to let you know that they're both competitive though, so they can only be a tag team for so long. We're going to eliminate the common enemy. And then it's on. I really liked it.
Yeah, I mean, it's always like that thing, right? For example, like we're talking about, how do I say this? We're talking about protecting people in the sense where, for example, if someone's not a good wrestler, you work around that, right? You try to get better too, but you work you work around that. If someone's not a good promo, you work around that. So I feel like they did a really good job of working across the language barriers for both Giulia and for Stephanie, where they were able to show them with their best foot forward, right? in this vignette.
Absolutely.
They're going out there, they're cutting this very passionate promo, both in the language that they feel comfortable with. And so with that, instantly you're like, all right, I got it. Like, I don't think that there's one person here that watched that vignette and thought, oh, I don't get it. No, you got it. It was perfectly it was very it was actually really cool because you went from one language to another language all in one segment. And so it was like, oh shit, like here I am, like sort of exercising my brain and listening to this. And obviously when Stephanie was talking, I understood all of that, but it was funny because I was thinking in so many different languages. And I get it, dude. Chinedu, like as a person who's bilingual and speaks fluent Spanish and also obviously English, there's times, Chinedu, where I'm thinking, oh my God, how the fuck do I say this in Spanish? Wait, what's the word in English? And I'm like, I don't know the word in English. I don't know the word in Spanish. I don't know anything. And then there's times where I'm like, okay, I know how to say this in English, but how the hell do you translate this in Spanish? How do you translate this from Spanish to English? And you're talking someone that has talked English and Spanish simultaneously for 32 effing years. My whole life, I have spoken 2 languages and I still struggle. So now imagine someone that has not been speaking another language for so many years. Now, granted, there are people that can pick up another language and learn it so freaking fast and just, they're great at it, especially if you didn't learn it as a child. But that's so hard to do, Chinedu. It's so freaking hard. And so, yeah, I give credit to like anybody that can freaking do it. Like it blows me away to anybody who can.
Absolutely. And again, and to the credit to them making this great package. Again, so you said to speak and to overcome the language barriers, to speak how they feel most comfortable. And I felt, and side note, I felt if they'd done this for Andrade years ago, it would have helped him wonders. It really would have, because they took Selena away, which I felt they should have done that. They just left him out there. They just left him hanging to me. I know it's random, but I always had that kind of critique of the creator for Andrade because he was so good in the ring. When he was Andrade Cien Almas, so good, but they just left him out there. It's not as random though, but this main event was fire. Like everything about it was amazing. I love the VO package. It was just 5 stars across the board for me.
I know what you're saying. Don't let people sink. Give them floaties.
So they yes.
Go out there with your little ducky floaties.
Yeah, keep up then. I'm still here. I'm still here, guys. I'll be on here next week.
It's like that meme. Everybody has seen the meme where the mom is playing with the one kid and the other kid's right there drowning.
Yeah. Like don't let him drown, man. Don't let him sink to main event. Please. Keep him up here, please.
Yeah. That's so funny. All right, we got Kenty in the house. Thank you so much to Kenty. Says, what's up with the women's tag on all brands? Let's effing go, right? Well, I mean, I was saying earlier, we're not always interested. The people aren't always interested in everything that you're seeing on the main roster. Sometimes other personalities just capture your attention. And I think they need more tag teams to fall in love with on the main roster, in my opinion.
I agree. And the fact that the women tag titles float and are the only titles that can float, I feel is what makes them very interesting. So now I love that they continue to capitalize on that, seize that. I want to see different tag teams on all the shows. I don't let them feel like they're like nothing is off basis with the tag division. Like anybody can get it at any time. That's what I want.
Right. But anyways, the match itself is really great. There's only one more match that we haven't talked about. And that is Hank and Tank versus OTM. You know me, I'm a Hank and Tank girl. But this was good. We got to see the continuation of Lola going after and attacking Jaida. That was something that we saw. Oh, I'm sorry. And I forgot to mention the match that Jaida had with Tatum earlier in the night. Jaida got that win. So really quick victory for her. But we did see Lola come out and try to attack Jaida, but she couldn't get to Jaida. So we ended up having her attack her while she was out there supporting OTM during this match here. So for the most part, we also had the guy from NASCAR was there. I forget his name, but I guess he used like his helmet and hit one of the OTM guys. And so he helped Hank and Tank win the match. I thought it was harmless. I was like, that is so fun. Let him have this moment. This was fine. This was fine. I mostly cared about what we were seeing there with Lola and Jaida because they have so much fire.
I definitely agree. I was happy to see OTM back on TV, because I felt like we haven't seen them wrestle in a while. I'm happy to have that a match. Again, happy to get TV time, which is a big thing. And I believe her and those OTM and Jaida are actually close in real life. I'm happy that all of them are able to continue to work together. It's really good. But I said I did have more interest in Jaida versus Lola, although it was a good match. Hank and Tank are great. I feel they continue to build OTM. It'll be really, really good though. But like you said, my main interest was in Jaida and Lola as well in the end. So yeah, it was great. That was really good. That match was good. But I just want to highlight one more time. Wesley, please, that backstage segment, please, please, please get with Trick. You go to that
Who was he
store.
talking to? He was talking to Javon, right? Yeah, it was the
Yeah,
backstage
yes,
segment where he was telling
yeah,
him, like, oh, I forgot what he was saying. He was basically telling them, like, oh, they're going to like you or hate you later on, something like that.
yes, because he was back there dressed like Chris Cross from '91. I don't know why he was dressed like that. Wesley, you are a star. You're a star, Wes. Okay, well, I need that dress game to be better. I'm really not hating because he's a main event person. But when you see Trick, you see Ethan, you got to dress like that. To me, just to me.
I get it, dude. You got to dress the part, right? That's what you want to do. You want to be a star. You got to dress like a star. That's how it is. Also, I want to point this out. This is from Ender Buckley here, who says taking, oh, wait. Hold on. That wasn't the one. It was this one. Ender Buckley says Lola taking over the celebration for a shake was funny, as was the guy hitting them with the helmet. Yeah. So they also did the little, they did the Lola dance, Hank and Tank. I thought that was great too. Little moments like that, they kind of add to the whole show a whole lot. But man, that was fun though. A fun show, a lot of different things that went down on the show. And then next week, guys, the next NXT show, this week on Sunday, I will be live doing the NXT Halloween Havoc watch along, and then Chinedu will be joining me for the post show. So we'll be live here for several hours, just hanging out, having a good time. So you guys can come out here and check that out. That is happening on Sunday. Alrighty, but Chinedu, what do you got going on?
I am currently finalizing my new tour. Am I your age mate? Am I your age mate? That's what I'm calling it. Upcoming tour is coming out very soon. Just selected my venue to do my live taping from my 5th stand-up comedy special that's coming up. Things will be available soon out here in Houston and in Austin. I'll be doing 2 tapings for that show. Continue to see me on the #1 sports show in Houston, the CBS affiliate KHOU, every Sunday night. Give my analysis and reviews on sports out here in Texas. Catch my videos every single day on my page and my platform. And catch me on Mary Street Media. I sent 3 videos in this week. I don't know when they air, but I'm on there. So check me out. If you're a fan of Dr. Phil's media station, I'm on there as well. Other than that, please do me a favor. Check out the latest videos from the homie Denise, a ZARIA interview, which I'm going to listen to tomorrow on my drive into the city. Cannot wait. Go watch those videos, guys. Support. Watch the content. Don't be a dick. Give it a click. And that's pretty much all I got for that.
Alrighty, everyone. Click that subscribe button here, youtube.com/Denise Salcedo. You're already here, unless you're listening on audio. Click that subscribe button, and I'll be back tomorrow with Reg for the AEW Dynamite Watch Along. Again, no Friday post show this week because I will be out of town, and then back here for Halloween Havoc. Chinedu and I doing the post show. We'll catch you guys on the next one. Bye, everyone.